I came home to an empty house and a note from my husband of 38 years, Rick, saying he was finding himself on a solo road trip, only to spot his truck parked outside a bar with a woman named Holly draped over him. 3 weeks after he swore he needed space to think. At 61, I'd spent nearly 4 decades with him, raising 2 daughters, surviving his midlife crises, baking his pies, only to stand there in the gravel lot, keys shaking in my hand, watching him laugh with her like I'd never existed. He didn't even see me, just kept sipping his beer, oblivious, while I realized his journey had a passenger I didn't sign up for. How did he pull this off? Let's roll back the clock. It's a jagged, heart-crushing ride, and every mile hurts. It all started in 1986, when I was 23, a nervous bride in a borrowed dress, marrying Rick under a maple tree at his parents' farm. He was 25, a logger with a buzz cut and a laugh that could shake the leaves, promising me a life of sweat and dreams. We kicked off broke. Our first place was a one-room cabin with a wood stove and a mattress we'd dragged from his truck. Our girls came fast. Rachel in 88, Beth in 91. We scrapped our way up. Rick felling trees, me waitressing at the diner, saving for a little bungalow we bought in 94. It had warped floors and a porch that sagged, but it was ours. I thought we were forged tough. 38 years of spilled cereal, dance recitals, and late-night fights over layoffs, all tied with a love I'd have bet my bones on. The first hint something was off slipped in about 2 years ago, quiet as a fog. Rick, always a storyteller, big yarns about the woods, the crew, the storms, started fading. He'd trudge in from work, chainsaw oil on his jeans, and sink into his recliner, staring at the TV like it held answers. "Rough day?" I'd ask, rolling dough for his apple pie, tart, just how he liked it. "Yeah," he'd grunt, eyes blank. I pinned it on age, 61's no picnic with his bad back and my creaky wrists. But then the soul-searching started. "Need to clear my head," he'd say, grabbing his keys, gone for hours. He'd roll back at 10, 11, smelling of cedar. Not sawdust, not sweat. And I'd catch him texting in the dark, thumbs clumsy, a grin I hadn't seen since our 20s. "Work stuff," he'd mutter when I'd peek, but his voice hitched, just a tick, enough to notice. Then the excuses piled up. He'd skip dinners, Rachel's promotion party, Beth's twin's birthday, claiming, "I need time to think, Nancy." He'd sit on the porch, staring at the stars, muttering about finding himself. I'd nod, worried, 38 years, and he was drifting. "Take a weekend," I'd say, and he'd hug me, promising, "Just need space. Love you, Nan." I swallowed the doubt, baking more pies, hoping he'd come back to me. Last spring, it got weirder. Beth came for Easter, her kids tearing through the yard, and Rick barely looked up, texting, a grin I hadn't sparked in years. "Dad, you here?" she teased, carving ham. He waved her off. "Tough week," he mumbled, and I saw her frown, matching mine. Rachel called a week later, voice sharp. "Mom, saw Dad's truck at a bar off 12, Friday night. Thought he was home?" My stomach flipped, but I brushed it off. "Probably a beer with the guys, hun." Lies. I didn't know, and I was scared to dig. But the doubt grew thorns. The real bomb hit in September. Rick sat me down, eyes distant. "Nan, I need to go, really go. A road trip, solo. Gotta find myself before it's too late." My heart sank. "Alone?" I whispered. "Yeah," he said, squeezing my hand. "Just me, the truck, the open road, few weeks, tops. Love you." He packed a bag, slow, deliberate, kissed me goodbye, and drove off, promising to call. I stood on the porch, waving, baking pies he'd never taste, blaming myself for not being enough. He'd text daily. Montana's wild, Nan. Thinking hard. Utah's quiet. Miss you. I'd reply, come home soon, clinging to his words like a lifeline. The weeks dragged, 3, then 4, and his texts thinned. Busy driving, he'd say, voice clipped on rare calls. The girls rallied, Rachel begging me to track his phone, Beth hinting he was off. I tried fixing it, sent care packages via his old crew, knitted him socks, prayed he'd roll back. Halloween loomed, our 38th, and I clung to it. Maybe he'd come home, us, the old days. I planned it. Pumpkin pie, cider, a welcome banner, hoping he'd walk through that door. Then I saw him, October 28th, a Tuesday I'll never shake. I was grabbing milk at the gas station when I spotted his truck, red, dented, outside Rusty's bar, 20 miles out. My hands shook as I pulled into the lot, heart pounding, and there he was. Rick, laughing, arm around a woman, 40-ish, blonde, all curves and giggles. Holly, barfly from town, known for chasing loggers. I watched, frozen, as she kissed his cheek, his hand on her waist, beer in the other. Finding himself, my ass. I drove home, numb, and waited. He rolled in at midnight, reeking of cedar, and I hit him. Finding yourself, Rick, with Holly at Rusty's? His face drained, then hardened. You followed me? Saw you, I snapped. Solo trip, huh? He exploded. I'm done, Nancy. Done with this, with you. Holly gets me. She's not some nagging ghost. He grabbed his bag, stormed out, tires screeching. Rachel showed up an hour later. She'd sensed trouble and found me sobbing over the pie. Mom, what's wrong? She gasped. He's with her, Rach. I choked. Holly, not alone? She hugged me, cursing him, and called Beth. Dad's a liar, Beth growled. We'll fix this, Mom. But I was shattered. 38 years, 2 girls, and I was the fool baking for a man who'd found her. Then came the twist that flipped it all. A week later, our banker, Phil, called. Nancy, Rick's been pulling cash, $200,000 from your joint savings. But here's the thing. The deed to your timberland, 40 acres, worth $600,000. He never transferred it. It's still in your name, Solo. I laughed. Wild, fierce. You're sure? Dead sure, Phil said. He's clueless. Thought he'd cashed out. I hung up, fire roaring. He'd run off with her, but I held the gold. I called the girls. Voice steel. He wants Holly. Fine. But I'm keeping what's mine. I lawyered up. Top divorce ace, Laura, who lived for revenge. Turns out, Rick had been siphoning for years. Savings, bonuses, $250,000 total, funneled to Holly's new life. Laura froze his accounts, filed for divorce, and locked the land in my name. Rick showed up days later, banging the door. Nancy, you can't take my land. I stepped out, cool as ice. My land, Rick, $600,000 you forgot about. Tell Holly to enjoy her bar stool. It's broke. His jaw dropped. You're ruining me. You ruined us, I shot back. Who is she? He stammered. Just fun. She's nothing. Lies. His eyes screamed it. Word got around. Holly was a barmaid, chasing his wallet and wanderlust. I sold the bungalow, every lie of his hauled off, and bought a cabin by the lake. Cash from my half. Took the girls to the coast with the rest. Waves, laughs, healing. Rick, stuck with a lease he can't pay. Holly gone when the cash dried up, crashing at a buddy's last I heard. It hurt. 38 years don't fade easy. But I wasn't Nancy, the doormat. I was Nancy, 61 and fierce, sipping coffee by the water. starting over. He thought he'd find himself with her, but I found myself instead, stronger than ever. So here I am, months later, watching the lake from my cabin, wondering what's next. Rick's out there, maybe broke, maybe scheming, Holly a ghost. The girls are solid, Rachel's teaching, Beth thriving, and I'm proud. But some nights, I wonder, did I win or just weather him? Could he roll back, begging forgiveness? And if he did, would I let him in or turn him away? I don't know yet, and maybe that's okay. What do you think? Should a woman like me ever look back? Or is this where I keep walking my own road? No regrets? Tell me your take.